Barkha Dutt, the news anchor, Washington Post columnist, and my dear friend, was a guest on the China Current in 2020. A few days ago, her father passed away in the pandemic. "I'm choking," were his last words to her. Mr. SP Dutt was a scientist and father of 2 daughters. He is also one of thousands of people in India who are losing their lives each day in this new wave. In honor of Mr. Dutt and the life he gave, this is a look back at my conversation last year with Barkha. Barkha, one thing that makes me really sad is seeing these numbers continue to climb in India. We can talk about numbers, but let's talk about the people behind those numbers. What are some of the human stories that have moved you?
We have about 45 million migrant workers. When the lockdown was first declared, and remember you're talking about 1.3 billion people in lockdown, there was a panic reaction among these poor people who A, wanted to be home just like any other human being, and B, they lost their source of income because there were daily wages and the factory owners, etc., stopped paying them because there was no indication of how long India was going to remain in lockdown. And so you had these men, women, children walking in the blazing heat through the darkness of the night, sometimes with little children who were crying. I have met children in the darkness of forests who I have met just weeping inconsolably because they have nothing to eat. I have met people walking hundreds of kilometers on foot. I have met a woman who delivered a baby by the roadside and then got up and then walked for another 100 kilometers just because there was no choice. So what happened with India was that we had twin challenges. We had the medical, the pandemic itself, and then we had this humanitarian crisis playing out for our poorest citizens. So for example, we were saying to people, stay at home. Now, what does stay at home mean for a poor family where 7 people are staying in a room the size of a closet? So we had to learn as a country along the way that some of our ideas lifted from the West or from the East, just copied and pasted from other experiences, did not apply to our particular realities.
I want to finish by asking about you. I'm proud of our friendship. I look at your work all the time. I see you traveling across the country throughout this pandemic. How are you keeping safe?
How did we keep safe? Well, the science kept changing and we had to keep changing with it. So for example, when we first started, we were told that everyone doesn't have to wear masks. Now the science has completely changed on that, and masks are seen as the one effective way in crowded, closed, dense areas. So what we did was very basic precautions. Wash your hands, sanitize when you can, and now wear masks. There's really not much more than you can do but take basic precautions. Very elementary basic precautions, and you live and you work.
Your work is so important because it continues and has done for many years to shape public understanding. But I ask you, please be safe, and everybody where you are.
Thank you, James, and stay safe too. It's a pleasure, and I'm so happy to be talking to you after such a long gap. So it should not be a long gap till the next time.